morning, this is John Covington, Casting for Unity. This is our fifth podcast, and the purpose of these are to try to pour and add value to the listeners, and both from a personal development standpoint, a connection standpoint in the community, and just to try and make the community a better place for us, and each one of us improve to where we're more effective. I've always been I had a fortunate career. I came along in the industry before all the downsizing and cut sizing and right sizing and all this sort of stuff. And many big industries poured value into their employees through training and education. And my first employer was out of the Navy was DuPont. And DuPont just poured an awful lot of effort into us. And I'm going to try and share some of the things that I have learned over the years. And one of the things that these companies were focused on was corporate and personal planning. And so I have become sort of a zealot on personal planning. And so I want to share some of the what I do and with you and why I do it. The reason you want to do it is you'll get more done if you sort of have a prior plan. I guess there's an old saying that prior planning prevents poor performance, and I think that's valid. And if you can schedule the things that you know you're going to do, and you get those done in some type of a disciplined manner, it gives you additional capacity to handle the unexpected, to handle the person that just drops in. So also 85% of what you write down, and I'm talking about writing down, I'm not talking about punching in your cell phone. 85% of what you write down, it stands a better chance of actually happening if you write it down. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to go through a process, and it's probably going to be three videos, and I want to be able to, first of all, in planning, you sort of need to know who you are, understand yourself better. What's your purpose? What is it you're trying to get accomplished? And then once you have that down pat, to develop an annual plan. And my annual plan, here's my copy for 2023. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 pages long that I spend a significant portion of time just mussing over it. Once you do it once, I'm sure that my 2023 plan is going to be very similar to my 2024 plan is going to be very similar to my 2023 plan, based upon some things that just don't change. For example, some roles that I have. So we're going to go over today identifying your purpose and who you are. Then the next video is how to develop a year-long plan. And then the last video will be the daily routines, the weekly routines, the monthly routines on executing your plan. Resources that I use are pretty simple. I use a standard composition book, 200 pages, as a sort of a journal, and to put down things that I want to be able to do and catch thoughts. And I use this particular planner, At a Glance Weekly Planner, and any good planner will work, but this is just the one. This one has served me well the last several years, so I choose to use that. Starting off on your who you are, your personal planning, I would suggest that you take, I don't know whether you've ever had a DISC assessment of yourself, or sort of get to know yourself a little bit better. What are your strengths and weaknesses? And it's not so you can work on your weaknesses. You want to be able to notice your strengths so you can leverage those things. And most of the time on weaknesses, go find somebody else to do those, or that may be someone else's strength. So I accept some type of, whether it's a DISC assessment or some type of behavioral assessment, And then what are your spiritual gifts? If you're and we unapologetically are a Christian-based company, and so much of our teaching and things that we discuss will be put in from that perspective. So if you are asking the Holy Spirit to dwell within you, somewhere along the line, the Holy Spirit is going to gift you with specific gifts to you. And there are all sorts of ways of determining what those are. You can go on the internet and Google it. I'm sure there's some tests on there. And if you just can't find a way to do that, pop us an email or something, and we'll direct you to some deals to where you can get your spiritual gifts. Then once you get your spiritual gifts, you want to bounce those against what I would say God's agenda. If it's in God's agenda, I'm going to say it's like 7 items. One of them is saving lost people. God said He would leave the 99 to go find the one. Wisdom and guidance for those in authority. Hopefully that our president and governors and pastors and mayors all are gaining wisdom so they can make good decisions. Caring for the marginalized in your community. They could be poor parts of town, people that are incarcerated, just praying for them. Unity and love. Our small group got started because of racial tension, and a lot of people don't want to admit that racial tension exists. It does, and hopefully our group has, at least within our own boundaries, have addressed some of these things. Justice. That's another thing that on the top of God's agenda is justice. Freedom for those that are currently in bondage, and accomplishing the things, your purpose in your life. Those are the 7 items that God focuses on. And some of these may be in alignment with your skill set or things that you want to do. So getting yourself prepared, again, with getting your own, learning about yourself, and then comparing that to God's agenda. And then there's different roles that you have in life, and some of which would be, I'm a dad, I'm a father, I'm CEO of our small consulting firm, I'm a friend, I'm a small group leader in our church. There's specific roles that either I have been cast in without my permission, or I have chosen to be part of. So that's going to be part of my annual planning process, because when we start to put together an annual plan, I want to take a look at those roles, assess how I'm doing, and what I want to do for the next year. I hope this has been helpful in giving you a place to start. The next one will get more into the detail of developing the annual plan. And then again, the last video will be on how do I take that annual plan and break it into smaller parts so I can be effective on a daily basis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next video.